Hi. So welcome to this episode where today we're going to talk about what we call active sales. Now, what is selling and what does it mean to be active? So first of all, I would like to take a look into the difference between active and passive. So passive selling, this is when you wait for the clients to come to you and then you take the order. So this is not so complicated. This is actually not difficult at all. But active selling, this is where you do two basic things. First of all, you actively go out to find who are the best possible customers for our business or for our company. And second, you are actively persuading them, convincing them, influencing them to buy your products or services. Now, this is what we mean with active selling or active sales. Now let's define a little bit or look at what do we mean with selling. The subject of selling is, for me, one of the most misunderstood subjects on this planet, because this is the subject which is causing people the biggest problems they've ever had in this world. Now, because I define selling as the art of changing somebody's mind. So let's look at this. So if we have you here, if you can recognize yourself, you have been on a diet. And over here you have the other person. This is a client or someone else. Now, they have a mind. Actually, everybody on this planet have a mind. Now, what happens in the mind? Here we have, if you don't go too philosophical about it, we have our mental processes. Now, what is our mental processes? Of course, we are all thinking a lot. We're thinking all the time. Most people, they have what we call a thought machine in the mind. All the time thinking. Sometimes we think too much. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced when you go to bed at night, you say to your body, sleep. But your mind says, I'm not finished thinking yet. We need to think a little bit more. And now we can't fall asleep. And now in this moment, the mind has taken control over us because the mind is telling us what to do. Now, that's one thing. What about emotions? We all have enormous amount of emotion. They can be very positive or they can be very negative. Positive emotion, for example, you fall in love with someone. You see this man or this woman, the dream of your life, go, wow, I love you, I have to be with you. It's a very strong emotion. Now, in that moment, you don't control yourself very much because emotion says I must be with you. And then we have negative emotions. You can get angry. I don't know if any of you ever been a little bit angry or irritated with someone else. And then this anger, start to take control of us. So what I mean here with this is the mind very often controls or influencing what we're doing through our thinking and our emotions. So of course, ideally, if we look philosophical about it, through our philosophical or religious method, we have to learn to control the mind. But that's for another day. We will talk about that. Now we talk about active selling. The third thing we have in our mind, it is our memories. We can say in our life, we have experienced so many things from when we were born all the way up till today. Now, and all our memories and experiences are all laying here in the mind. And the negative experience or positive experiences can be activated again. So that means, let's say if I meet a person like Ido, who is sitting there, maybe I never met Ido before, but he reminds me of someone I have known in the past. Now, what if it was a positive association? Then it's, I like you because you remind me of someone positive. But what if let's say I was in the military, 20 years ago, I had a sergeant. His name was Ido. And he was a mean bastard. And he beat me up, whang, every day, just beating me up. And I couldn't do anything about it. He was the officer. And now I'm a professional salesperson. And you, Ido, here, you are a financial director of a big oil company, for example. And I want to go and do a contract with you. And I come in and say, hello, my name is Micahel. And what is your name? Ido, oh shit, then the mind get activated again, and it's now influencing me. So that's what I mean here. We have all this stuff in the mind. And we as a salesperson coming here, again, the definition is the art of changing somebody's mind. So we have to use we can call it our sales methodologies to change the mind, to change it from what we call from negative into positive about what we're dealing with. So what I mean here with this, so to say I'm a professional salesperson, I come up to Ido, the financial director of this big oil company. When he sees me, he's normally not meeting with open arms and say, hey, Michael, I was just sitting here waiting for you. How much money do you want today? I'm ready to buy. Normally not. He normally will be quite negative. He will say, I have no time, I don't need it, I already have a supplier. Or his secretary will say, give us your brochures, we will look at it, and we will contact you. We will come back to you. Don't come back. You're wasting our time. That is what we call a little bit negative. So as a professional salesperson, I have to go through this negative barrier into making him positive, that he actually wants to see me and he would like to buy from me. So how do I do that? What can I do to actually change people's minds from negative to positive? So I have a couple of points which is very, very key. And the first point is, for those who have seen my previous videos, that is, we've got to be optimistic. You have to be a positive person. You have to believe I can change his mind. Because if I think I can't change his mind, then the boss says to me, Michael, go and see Ido, this financial director. And I say, well, he will probably not buy anyway. But boss said, you must do it. We need the money. We have to get this contract. Okay, boss, I will do it. Then I go to Ido and Ido says no. Then I go back to the boss and say, boss, I was right. He said no, he didn't want to buy, So I'm not positive. But if I'm positive, very optimistic, I believe there's a way to do it. Now, the second thing which we have to do, which is very, very, very important. I have been working as a professional salesperson myself for many, many years, and I work today as a trainer, training salespeople how to improve their sales results. And that is, selling is a game. And it's a game the same way as sports people go into competition. So that means if you have a hockey team, you have hockey players or football players or a boxer, when you go into the match, you are expecting that the opponents, the other guys, will do everything possible for them to win. So the hockey match, they fight, they beat each other up and bang, 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 bang. But the sports people, they know that. They go into the match and they're looking forward to it. They love it. It's the game. Now, many salespeople do not have that mentality. They look at it as a problem. Well, this is very difficult, I don't like it, da da da. So we have now in the mind of the salesperson, because the salesperson also has a mind. Now, what if he is negative in his mind about selling? What if he say, well, I don't like selling, I don't like to talk to people? He will never make it. So the salesperson has to change his mind. So to change somebody else's mind, we first have to change our own mind from being negative to being positive and make it into a game. So I usually recommend professional salespeople do sport. Find some kind of a sport where there's some kind of competition involved. If that is not possible, play other games, even card games or computer games. But it's got to be a game where you play something. But you play the game to get this attitude from the game into the attitude of selling. You don't play solitaire just to spend thousands of hours doing nothing that gives no result. That's what I mean, but a real game. So that was the second part. The third part, that is, if you can make selling to your hobby, if you can make your work into your hobby, then you don't work anymore for the rest of your life. And I never forget, many years ago, I read from Bill Gates in his book, he said, I work very, very hard because I love my work. And when I read that, I was thinking about me. Now, why do I go to work? And to tell the truth, at that time, I only went to work for one reason, to get my salary. That was the only thing I was thinking about. But then I had to start to think, now what if I change my mind? I don't go to work just to get my salary, but I go to work because I love it, because I like it. Now, and what do we do in selling? We talk with people. That's all we do. We go up to a person who says, hi, blah, 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 money. Hi, blah, 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 money. Hi, blah, 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 money. Now, who of us would like to be paid money only for talking with people? I think this is a wonderful profession to have, just to talk to people. So if you can make talking to people into your hobby, into your game, and to be optimistic, if you can be happy to meet people. So if you work as a professional salesperson in a shop, for example, any kind of shop, when the customer walks in that door, you say, hey, I'm happy to see another human being. And I like to talk to that person. I would like to understand that person, etc. It will help us in our mind to be more positive towards that person, and then that person will be more positive to us. Even if you work on telephone sales, you're calling up to companies to make appointments, etc., where people are very, very negative. Here you have to build up a very thick skin. And I remember Donald Trump, one time he said, don't take it personally. It's just business. Wonderful, concept. Because for me personally, when people were negative to me when I was working, then I got upset. Either I could feel angry, irritated. I could even feel almost a little bit sad. If many people said no, 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 no over a longer period of time. Then I said, well, I'm not good enough, and my energy levels start to go down. But if you have a thick skin, don't take it personally. Then whatever the person says, it's the game. It's like the boxer going into the ring. When the other boxer tries to hit him, you cannot get upset about it because you're expecting him to do it. So when you are a salesperson, you also have to expect that he's not an opponent as such, this Edo financial director here, but it's the challenge. We're going through barriers to find where can we work together, in which way can we work together, and that is the game. So to go back to the point here, selling, it is the art of changing somebody's mind. And I must say, it includes also your own mind. You also got to change that one. And actually, this is where the whole thing begins. And why do we call it an art? Because every human being is different. There's nobody who is the same. I have worked with many, many clients, and I cannot be like a robot, give the exact same presentation or give the same information the same way to every single client. I have to adapt everything to each client. Now, what is the best way to talk to him? Now, he's a little bit of a technical guy. Let's give him a little bit more technical information. Now, the next person is a little bit more like emotional, a little bit Italian style. Then I put more emotions in. Then you have a little bit more conservative person. Then we say, this is very practical. This can help you, and So you adapt what you say and how you say it to the actual person that you deal with. And that is the art. And that's what makes active selling one of the most phenomenal, interesting professions we have on this planet. And as a final thing, I will leave you with one little thought. Now we talk to commercial selling. What about life selling? What else are we selling in our life? All of us have ideas that we want to inform other people about, we want them to believe in. Is it the same? Let's take Ido here. Let's say he wants a woman. And he sees a woman like Dalit, for example, and he goes, wow, that's a woman, I want her. But she's not interested in him. Well, I don't like you, your stomach is too big or whatever, Now, how does he deal with this? What can he do in that situation? Now, what if he applies these three steps we said now? Optimism, positive thinking. He said, okay, I can change her mind. Let's make it a game. And let's make it into like a hobby to go up there. Hey, listen, can invite you out for dinner, a little bit wine, a little bit dancing, and bam, and so on. After a few days, a few weeks, then she's warming up. In the beginning, she's cold, but she will get hotter until one says, okay, let's do it then, But that is also the game of relationships. He is romancing this other person. And all human beings, I think everyone has experienced that as a man or as a woman. Either we want someone else or someone else wants us. And it's all about changing the mind. For those of you who have children, how do you educate your children? How do you get your children to do what you want them to do? How do you create the character of the child? What if the child has a wrong character? How to change that character? What if he has some criminal tendencies? You want to change it. And that is also selling, but here we call it not commercial selling, we call it life selling. So from my personal point of view is, if a genie would come to us, a real genie, and he says, I will give you one wish, just one wish about one talent, and one talent that can change your life. What talent would you choose? Would you choose to learn another language? Would you choose to learn how to swim? Or would you choose how to persuade others? How to influence others, which means how to sell. Because that's what selling is all about. Now, how do we do that? Read books. Find sales books. There are many very good sales books on the market. Read. Learn about selling. I usually recommend professional salespeople, absolute minimum, one sales book a month. But this is absolute minimum. The best is one sales book a week. Keep learning. Get smarter. And second, go to seminars. I go to many seminars, especially there's one special speaker. I always go to his seminar, and he's called Micahel. I go to every seminar, that's how I get better, So, no, that was a joke a little bit, but I do go to all his seminars, that's another one. So the point is, life is all about learning. And I never forget, one time Mahatma Gandhi, he said, live life as though today is our last day on earth. And keep on learning as though we will live forever. Because if we keep learning, we can live the moment better, which is right now. Because we can create better results. But if we say, well, I know everything, I cannot learn anything, we will never get better. We will stay at the same place. I want personally to get the maximum out of life. I want to get as much as possible. Either if it is financial success or happiness, health, fitness, whatever it is, let's get the best. And selling, it is the key. Without selling, we don't get anything because we cannot influence others. So, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for viewing. I hope this little briefing here gave you some ideas, some tips that can help you to have more success in your life through active selling. See you. Bye-bye.